It was a cold morning when Armand sat on the same park bench he used to visit with his father years ago. The old wooden seat creaked beneath him, and a gust of wind brushed against his face. He pulled his coat tighter, staring at the ground. His world had fallen apart, his job gone, his friends distant, and his confidence shattered. Just a year ago, everything was different. Arman was the rising star at his company, full of ambition and dreams. He worked late nights, skipped family dinners, and believed success was everything. Then, suddenly, one email ended it all. We regret to inform you that due to downsizing, your position has been terminated. The weeks that followed were a blur. Rejection letters, unpaid bills, and sleepless nights. Each morning he promised himself things would get better, but by sunset, that promise faded. Even his reflection in the mirror started to look like a stranger, tired, lost, defeated. That morning in the park, he wasn't sure why he came. Maybe it was nostalgia. Maybe it was just the last place where life felt simple. As he sat there watching children play and joggers pass by, an old man approached him. His clothes were worn out, but his eyes were kind. "Mind if I sit?" the man asked. Armin nodded. For a moment, they both sat in silence. Then the old man smiled and said, "You look like someone who's carrying the weight of the world." Armin gave a faint smile. "You could say that I've lost everything." The old man chuckled softly. "Everything? Are you sure about that?" Arman sighed. "My job, my savings, my confidence. I failed at everything I tried." The man nodded thoughtfully. "I once lost everything too," he said. "My business, my home, my family's trust. I sat on this very bench 10 years ago thinking it was the end. But it wasn't. It was the beginning of something new." Armin turned to him, curious. "What changed?" The man smiled. "Perspective. I realized that sometimes life closes one door not because you failed, but because you're meant to walk through another one. But you can't see that door if you keep staring at the one that's shut." His words lingered in the air. The man stood up slowly and said, "You see that playground?" Arman looked. Children were falling, laughing and standing again. "That's life," the man said. "Falling doesn't mean failing. It means you're trying." Before Arman could reply, the man began to walk away. "Wait," Arman called out. "Who are you?" The old man turned, smiled again, and said, "Just someone who found hope on this bench." That night, Arman couldn't sleep. Those words echoed in his mind. You can see the next door if you keep staring at the one that's shut. The next morning, he decided to do something he hadn't done in months. Start again. He picked up his old notebook, the one filled with ideas he never dared to chase. Among them was one he'd written long ago: "Start a design studio for small businesses." His heart raced. It felt impossible, foolish even. But for the first time, that voice of doubt wasn't the only one he heard. There was also hope. He spent days learning new skills online, connecting with people, and sharing his work for free just to get started. Slowly, one project turned into 2, and then into 10. He didn't earn much in the beginning, but he earned something far greater: belief. Months passed, his small studio began to grow, and so did his confidence. One evening, as he walked through the same park, he saw someone sitting on that old bench, head down, eyes tired, just like he once was. Armin smiled, walked up, and said, "Mind if I sit?" The young man nodded, and Armin said softly, "You look like someone who's carrying the weight of the world." The boy smiled sadly. "You could say that. I've lost everything." Armin looked up at the sky. The same golden light that once fell on him now shimmered again. He turned to the boy and said, "Everything. Are you sure about that?" The circle had completed. The bench that once heard his pain now witnessed his strength, and somewhere in that park, a whisper of hope passed from one soul to another, proof that sometimes all we need is a new beginning. Moral: every ending is just a disguised beginning. Don't let failure close your heart. It might be leading you to your greatest purpose.